So, you want to be a real estate investor, but where do you start? How do you know what information and sources to trust? That's where I come in. I'm Jonny Cattani, and this is the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. Hey guys, real quick, before we start, go to investwithcattani.com and download my free ebook, Is Commercial Real Estate Recession Proof? Now to today's show. Welcome to another episode of the IRR Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Jonny Cattani, and my guest today is another member of Raise Masters, as I'm sure you'll hear a lot of my guests are. His name is Wayne Ung, and Wayne brings 20 years of general real estate management experience with hotel-specific management since 2013. He invests in and or manage several hotels, including properties in Columbus, Ohio, Tucson, Arizona, Albuquerque, New Mexico, just to name a few. And Wayne, the trusted franchisee of Extenda Suites for raising numbers so quick on all three properties. I love it, Wayne. So let's kind of jump in here. I know we're eager to talk about hotels, but kind of talk to me about the early days here. And I know you've been a serial entrepreneur for about 20 years. What was the beginning like? Has it always been real estate?
Let's see, my parents came here in 1984 from Cambodia. And so we came over here and then we stayed 6 years there. Then we went to LA and we got these donut shops. And so that's where I got all my entrepreneurial. I was like learning all these things here. Over there, I did newspapers. Then I sold flowers. And then, when I was selling flowers, this guy was making like off a corner. He made like $20,000 in 3 days. Sales. Yeah. And he's teaching me these tricks. He's like, you know what? These people come here. It's like $26 for this bouquet. Tell them you have no change and they'll give you a 50. And that's your tip right there. I was like, Christ. I was like doing that all day. I was like, he's paying me $100 and I'm getting a tip of $300. I was like, oh man, this is what it feels like to be a girl. I was like, oh. So I got that. And, I was like, and then we were doing these donut shops and I'm sitting around there. I'm like, man, this is a pit. I'm sitting around here and I'm seeing these cars outside. People are doing things. I need to go do things. I don't need to be sitting around in here. So I got enough of that. And then we went to Texas and we got this liquor store and, the sales grew to like $1.3 million. So that's like, it was great. Cash flow is like $30,000. And we bought these rental houses during the 2007. And I was like, you know what? I need to go do something else. It's like real estate was a lot better. I hear all these things about apartments. So let's go do apartments. And I signed up for everything at my local RIA. And I'm like, I bought everything and I bought this apartment guy. I paid him $5,000 or so. And he had done like 500 deals. It was some big number. And he showed me this number in Amarillo, 100 units, only 15 down. And then, we had to go through a divorce. It's in Amarillo. And I was going to make $5,000 a month. And I was going to make $150,000 when I sold the place. And I was like, wow, this is it. You got this experience and I get this. This is the big thing. This is what everybody's talking about. And since I've talked to other people and I told them, and like, yeah, that's an apartment deal. And I was like, oh, no excitement there. I'm like, dude, keep your 5,000. I'm not going to no city where it's all dusty and everything like that. So somebody came and told me about these hotels, and he ended up to being my mentor. And so I signed up for his mentoring thing, and then, it got quiet, and I flew out to Oregon to go see something, and I went out to this hotel that's out in the middle of the country, and then I get a call, and it goes, Wayne, I hear you got some money. I go, yeah. Where are you at? I said, I'm in Medford, Oregon. I go, and he goes, why the hell are you there? What's over there? There's nothing over there. Get out of there. And he goes, come over to Columbus, Ohio. So this deal was 135 Fairfield Inn. It was built in 1989. And then I think 14 years later or something like that, the bank owned it. The guy couldn't produce, closed it down. Lady before me contacted the bank They wanted $4 million for this property. Fast forward 4 years, she got it for $600,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she did it. She did a year. She did a year. She got a hard money loan. She did a year on it, and then she got cancer. They said, Wayne, I hear you got some money, and you're in the middle of Oregon. Get the hell out of there. Come over here. So I put the down money, and then we went to a home on it. We did all the number. We did painting and everything. I mean, 7 different colors, and it's got 7 different leaks. I was like, beautiful.
In what year was this acquisition?
This was in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
2012.
she was in, so right around 08 then was when she was getting ready to buy it, and then you came in, or she didn't buy it till 4 years later, 2012?
Yeah, I took over her terms.
Okay.
Just yeah. It was a sweet deal. She put in 400,000. She said, take it away from me. She had
And
cancer.
was it a heavy lift? Talk to me, I guess, then once you acquire a hotel, what's that process like for going in and converting it? Because you're converting them to apartments, correct?
No, I'm just gonna keep them as basically what we do is they're daily, and then the other side, the hotels usually have about 50% occupancy. And then so what do they do with the other side? They don't do anything. They lose money on there. So what we do is we turn them in basically into an apartment, but the rules and the laws of a hotel. So what does that mean? That means that they can come in, they don't have no terms. We just have these agreements with them. They have to pay forward with it. Evictions are less than 20 minutes or as fast as the police come. No court cases, no paperwork. So, but these are for like contractors, salespeople, Amazon people, natural disasters, governments, people between homes, buying, selling, apartments, waiting for, going out, coming out. You have bad credit. As long as you have the money, it's okay, and you don't bother the customers, the other customers, staff, or the neighborhood. So,
Okay.
and so, yeah, I mean, this is like the first one. I got the first weekly customer. Well, it's not the first, but this is the first contract that we got. Was we went to this Mexican restaurant and we're like talking to people, and it goes, oh, I've been going to these places and I'm looking for a place to stay, and these apartments won't agree, give me an agreement. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I need 8 rooms, but it can grow up to like 30 or 40 rooms. And I was like, what? And then he goes, because I'm working for this contract and it might end in 2 years. We don't know. And so I said, oh, okay, well, we got this hotel that does exactly this. And he goes, oh, cool. So he comes and he rents out 10 rooms. And then I think it grew up to like about 30 rooms, and then it goes down to 20. But he stayed for around 2 years. But
oh, wow.
Boy, was it warm in the winter when it was negative 20 outside. It was heating up the rooms and stuff. So we were getting all those. We had all these events. There's a biking, and a motor, and a car event. Then they had a muscle event. Then they had a music festival. We were charging 120 banks of 3 days. So you couldn't book one day. You have to book 3 days. They're all together, non-refundable.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow.
Beautiful, no refundable.
And then does it have a convention center? So even the conference and everything is in the hotel, or this is just people staying for the conference?
Well, we are a no frills hotel. So we some locations will have meeting rooms, but we didn't have this one here. I wish we did have meeting rooms, because we had so many people ask for it, and we get $1 a square foot. So if we had 1,000 square feet, we could charge $1,000 a day. So
Wow.
that was beautiful, but we didn't have one of those. But people kept, it didn't stop them from asking though. You know,
Totally.
yeah, if you don't have it, they still ask for it. So
So it sounds like the numbers then are pretty solid, especially in terms of cash flow. How do you, I guess, come up with like a pro forma in that? It sounds like there is a bit of volatility in there in terms of cash flow. So how do you set that expectation for the investors?
when we're in construction and we're building it up, it's kind of rocky to show there. And then, but once we're pretty much busy with construction, but sometimes it's hard to tell, because what happens is, as we changing the name, we haven't renovated, but the customers will start to come in and our numbers will get better. So depending on locations, we might start to be getting better even after we don't even finish the renovation. So as we're getting up, when we get the renovations, we can charge more. So, oh, we just painted the place, $20 more a week. Oh, look at that. We put our sign up, $30 more. Whoa. So we can have all
Okay.
these, all these dingers charges for people. So it gets a big improvement, but usually the hotels will have slower low seasons. So the low seasons are winters, or in Arizona, the summer. So
Yeah, backwards in Arizona for sure. People don't want to sit through that 120-degree desert heat.
yeah. Oh, you haven't been there when it's 130?
Yeah, no kidding. Okay. So it sounds like then you're still targeting, the same kind of markets in a sense. Obviously, that's where the people are. So, kind of talking about how you designate a market and then what the process looks like when you get into the market.
Markets we go into is just big metropolitan areas. What we're finding out right now is that the metropolitan areas are getting too expensive for people. So they're going to be going into these smaller cities. And we would like to go into the smaller cities before they get big because we can get a better price for them too. So these locations on these hotels. So that's what we like, and that's what we're going through.
Okay. And then now with COVID, was it pretty, since you were already in this asset class, did you guys make a lot of acquisitions? Were there a lot of hotels that couldn't make it through, or talk to me about that a little bit?
What we're going after is these blue collar hotels, and most of them are doing pretty bad through there. They're having a problem because the owners are getting too old. The kids are not taking care of it. So COVID didn't really accelerate that or anything like that, because these people were still the same. But we did the brand did get some locations that were like, wow, we're like, we wouldn't get this. I mean, one of the locations in Phoenix charges like $125 a night. So yeah, on the weekend, and then it bounced down to 70. It's the first when you get coming out of the airport, it's the first hotel that you'll see. I was like, wow. Interesting. So yeah, that's the thing about it. It's like COVID, we were exempt. All our locations are exempt. That's what everybody's wowed about. It's like, yeah, we're just like an apartment building, while everybody's getting like 25%, 50%. Like my last location in Albuquerque, they're like, oh, they're limiting like a Holiday Inn to 25%. But to us, nope, we're 100%. So it's where people are living. So they were okay with that.
Okay. All right. And so you operate as a hotel then, is what I'm understanding. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a hotel, but we are designated as extended stay, so they're long term. So it's kind of like an apartment. It's like an apartment, and cities understand that too, because the cities are identifying them and then knowing that, if you're a good operator, they actually need you and they will partner with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, all right. So we talked about, how you identify your acquisitions. Now, what does the financing look like? Is it the same as if you were buying, large multifamily property, or, talk to me a little bit about that.
It's actually easier. All three of my my projects were seller financed with 10% down.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they stay in, and for how long usually?
The terms is usually about 3 to 5 years. Pretty generous, 7%. That's like, wow.
Okay. And now at this 5 to 7 year mark, are you guys refinancing, or are you, selling and getting out? What's typically your plan?
We have to see if somebody offers us a really good price, we'll sell it. Cash flow is good, stay in it until we get a crazy price. And then also it's we can go up on the rates as the city gets even more expensive, and as more hotels are taken down by apartment people or somebody else is buying them, our rates are even going even higher. So cash flow is even better, and then the equity just goes higher.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense. Or if there's an event, like you were saying, conferences are in town, that allows you to hike the rates up for that week, I'm sure, as well. So Are these just the only three markets that you're in? What other markets do you have your eyes on that look good for you this year?
No, we're across America, we're across the United States, so we're going through there. So
Okay.
I'll be doing like the next 15 in Phoenix. So I've got 4 that we're working on right now. So we'll be doing a lot more locations. So
Okay. And then do you guys do everything in-house? Do you have your own construction company, or do you just find good GCs in the area to work with?
well, it's a variety of ways. So if we find somebody like a painter or something like that, but what we're not doing major construction. So we're not adding kitchens or anything like that. We're not adding major sections. We are just lipstick. We're painting and we're doing the floors, and then we're putting signage, and we're doing the maybe whatever rooms are down, we'll get them up, and then we'll do the parking area. So, and the lobby. So it's nothing really major, but let's say like we need somebody plumbing, and we have like this guy, he's not a licensed plumber, but he knows everything. I'm like, you know what? We could fly him into any place location, and they'll pay less than the local ones want to charge us 40,000 or 400,000 or something like that.
Wow. Okay. So there's nothing that stipulates, what kind of services or service providers you need to use under any kind of hotel law. You can still, find your sort of off market, I guess, like plumbers and handymen to do work on the properties.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I have innovative ways. So I mean, like what I did was for Albuquerque, we couldn't find any maintenance guys. So I was looking on Facebook, and then this other hotel was doing some work, and then maintenance was paying $16, and then they had these guys in there. They were like replying, so I DM'd them. I said, "I'll pay you $1 more if you come to work for me." I got 4 guys, and they
Wow.
came to work at my hotel, and we finished the hotel. So that's how I got the numbers from 45 to 85 in 6 months, because the place was pretty much done.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
an easy sell. I mean, listen, this time of year, the market, the way that it is competitive. So you got to stay on top of it. Okay. So I know one thing you're big on is how misunderstood this is completely as an asset. Talk to me about why that is. Why is it so misunderstood? And, where are you finding investors, and are you having an easier time getting investors as more people learn about this asset class?
Yeah. When I tell people that these are hotels, they think like, oh, these hotels are for people who travel, and if you're not traveling, the business is bad. Well, the come to find out is like it's not only travel. These people travel for work, to see family. They have other reasons, a death or something like that. Let's say, or because let's say like if somebody dies, oh, I got to go to this place, and I got to go see my uncle, I haven't seen for a long time. Well, it's not only 1, 2 people, it's like 10 or 20 people, and they need a place to stay for a while. And so that's the thing that's like, wow, there's a lot of these events and places that are people going to. I'm like, wow, that's really nice that a lot of people don't think about. Even during COVID or during down times, it's even, it's hard for people to go around to see these places, but they'd still go.
Okay. Awesome. And then what is your investor group, just your network? Has that grown? You have partners, I assume. So kind of talk to me about, your investor avatar and where you're finding investors are coming from.
They're usually apartment people. So I just go to these apartment events and just tell them. And the ones that are interested, want to talk to me more, and the other ones that don't, just walk away. That's fine. So I just keep going. But I found, like, the last event, I found a syndicator that was doing an apartment, and he says like she had a soft commitment of $1 million for it, and she goes, and we talked. It's like, all right, let's talk him into getting into one of these hotels, so he'll be making a lot more money. And so she was like, I wanted my own motel. I said, well, let's go through this one and we'll see how it goes. And then we'll give you you'll get a hotel too. So that was awesome. So I was like $1 million. Bam. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can raise $1 million like that, you're usually going to be able to do a lot of deals. That's for sure. So awesome. Well, it sounds like it's a really nice way for investors to diversify their portfolio. Is this the only asset class that you're focused on right now? Do you have other asset classes in your portfolio at all?
Not yet, but I'll see if I have something else. So if you're investing with me, and I'll have unique places to do, to invest and stuff like that, and I'll have unique deals that we can go into. So like some of them maybe only like $400,000 or $700,000 down and the renovation. So it'll be like, wow, that would just make a lot of money. That'd be nice. So that's the thing. As like, but if they're investing with me, I'll share that my deals with them and stuff. So that'd be great.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense and allows you, like you said, to kind of spread across all the markets, started again in some of the tertiary markets that are starting to blow up and get in there early, especially when the assets, it sounds like, are priced a little bit more affordable, less of a raise you have to do. So that allows you to get in quicker and acquire more assets. So awesome. Well, I'm almost nearly sold on this asset class, certainly has a diversified portfolio. So what more do we need to know about the asset class in terms of it being misunderstood, and kind of finish it off here in terms of what you're telling investors and why they love it so much?
I would think it's the returns. The returns are good. I mean, the equity that comes up to it, you'd be surprised when it comes there and you see that. And it's like, wow, a 2 between comes into a 4. Wow, the equity is really good on that cash flow doing that. So, I mean, you can get 500,000 or even more on cash flow. That's great. So,
okay, awesome. That's great. So cool. So we're nearing the end here, just a few more minutes left. So I'm going to jump into our final 5 questions here. So question number 1, what's the best advice you've gotten from a mentor?
my best advice is you always have problems. It's about your solutions. That's what it is. It's like always find a solution to your problems. And there's no problems, just solutions.
Absolutely. It's so true. And as you continue on, and your business grows, there's only going to be, well, to put it in your words, there's only going to be more solutions you need to find, but there's always a solution. I know right. This weekend after the Best Ever conference, there were a few deals I was talking about, and it seemed like some of them were going to fall through, but there's always some tricky financing you can do or something you can do to get the deal to pencil right. Especially in this market, that's what you got to do. So awesome. Right. So give me a recent, failure or mistake that you made and what you learned.
It's probably because I think about it's, I didn't have my eye on the ball or something like that. And it's like, just learn from it and just go, all right, just think about that part there. Instead of something like, when you fall. I'm all over right now.
Totally. I totally understand. Okay, and what's your favorite non-real estate or investment related book?
It's probably Team of Rivals.
Okay.
So it's a Lincoln book. He got everybody that was rivals. And I was like, put on his team, and that's how he was such a great president. So
awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely we'll link all this stuff in the show notes. All right, a couple more questions. So are you familiar with Marvel, like the Marvel superheroes? Do you follow that at all?
Who isn't?
Okay, so if you're Marvel, it's like all the superheroes like Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Hulk.
Yeah. Who's the one that becomes invisible? So that'd be great.
That's who. Okay, I was going to ask you if your personal investor avatar was a Marvel superhero, which one would you be?
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Okay, Iron Man. That's a great one. Awesome. Well, we'll wrap it up here. Last question. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you and learn more about hotels?
So you can reach me at my email, wayne@hotelcapitalinc.info. And my website is hotelcapitalinc.info.
Awesome.
All right.
Perfect. We will link all of that in the show notes so make it easier for people to find you. Again, Wayne, I really appreciated you coming on today. I had a lot of fun learning about these hotels, and we'll definitely have to stay in touch. Not sure if you have you guys worked with fund to funds at all or anything like that model?
Not yet, but probably be going into one pretty soon. So
awesome. Cool. Well, again, my guest today was Wayne Ung, the hotel guy. So we appreciate you coming on, Wayne, and enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. Listen, I know it's cliche and you hear it all the time, but please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Even though this is technically a daily podcast, you know it's coming out the next day. We have a ton of content coming your way. So please like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Leave comments. Would love to know what you guys think. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much.